Da da da. Derek Asamoah. Da da da. Derek Asamoah. Derek.
Let me tell you something now, this is ball hour. And we can ball all hour. Drag the ball backwards, captaining, left them all fractured, home advantage. When we score the goals, we don't do the dancing. All action, tell them again, enjoy the show, this is all facts here. We've been grafting all year long, you ain't getting right here. I've been grafting all season, I want player of the year. Yeah, pro contract with a FIFA card. And the man them there like he is hard.
Yes. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your favorite non-league show, Ball Hour. And I am your host, George. Today we have got some special guests. But before I introduce them, guys, All-Star Weekender is coming back this year. Saturday, 27th of May. I don't want to give out more information, but tickets will be out very soon. More information will be out very soon. So keep your eyes out for that. And make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share following this episode. But today, we've got two very, very special guests. D9, Derek Asamoah and Jabo. How you guys doing?
Very well. All good.
Good.
Thanks for having us on.
No, thank you so much for coming on. We've got a lot to talk about as well. More so about, like, the league stuff as opposed to non-league. Obviously, I know Derek is still playing. Currently playing with him at New Salamis. Jabo, are you playing at the moment or are you?
No, I'm fully retired now.
Okay, fully retired. Okay, good. But before we delve any deeper, let's trace back to as far back as when you lot like met. So is it as far back as Carlisle? Should we go? Is that?
No.
You met? Okay.
We're at the same school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What school?
Same school.
St. Aloysius in Highgate.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So it was like it was quite renowned football school, to be fair. And you had like a lot of football players came from that school. Joe Cole for popular names. The whole school was riddled with like everyone was in the academy club back then. Everything. So it was a proper footballing school.
Mad.
Yeah.
Okay, so were you always close since then, or was it a case where you went to the same school but you weren't really friends?
We went same school. I think it was in my brother's year, innit?
Yeah. We're a few years younger than Derek.
Oh, okay.
Younger than me, so it was in my brother's year. And obviously, playground, you see who all the ballers are and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I knew about him because he was one of the boys that was spoken about at the school because I think he was at Leyton Orient Leyton Orient, and obviously there was a few other people, footballers at different clubs as well. So he was the name about the school. So.
Okay. Who was the better player at the time?
I didn't really. I was more with his brother Jeffrey.
Okay.
And Jeffrey was a good player as well, good striker.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know because when like, someone's older in school times, they seem a lot older than you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when someone's in like I don't know, I was year 7 and Derek was like year 10 or 11. I'm looking at it thinking he's much older, isn't it? So I didn't even. So I'll say Derek at that moment in time or whatever.
Okay. I don't know about that as well because I was a bit of a. Cause my year was full of talent and I couldn't get in the school team. I couldn't even get in the B team. So I was a bit under the radar and I was like tiny. I was like literally, like everyone was like towering over me. So it was impossible for me back then. So I don't know. I was a bit under the radar. Not a lot of people knew about me at the school.
Yeah. Okay, so you both went St. Aloysius. Like, just talk me through the moment that you lot signed your first contract. Because I don't, forgive me if I'm skipping like a period, but it wasn't a case of you went St. Aloysius, you signed for a non-league club, then you got picked up from a pro club. I think you both had different journeys on how you signed your pro contract. So, Jabo, do you wanna? How did you? Like, what was?
So basically, my pathway to into say football, relatively, I say even sport, was from primary school. So I had like a teacher, a really good teacher. When we did sports day, she always used to say like, running's good for the brain. You should run and all this stuff. And she inspired me to join this running club called Highgate Harriers that used to run from Parliament Hill Fields. And from then, that's just when I started doing sort of any form of like football or running, etc. And that got me really fit and strong. And we used to kick around with a couple of boys. And my friend's brother just said, "Look, I'm going to start a team," because we used to like whoop all the older boys when we were young. And we started playing goals in the cages and stuff like that. And then we went into some tournament. We won it down in Tufnell Park. And we just played a few more games. And then joined. Then obviously I left primary school, went to St Aloysius, and started playing for Islington.
Okay.
And just went from there really. Playing in the school team, got picked, and then there's loads of scouts, and then just got scouted to go to Leyton Orient.
Okay.
And then I think I was about 12 years old when I went there.
Yeah. Okay, big. Dale? What that?
Well, what's to signing my first contract?
Yeah. Yeah, because
it was. I don't know how long have you got. It was
no, we've got enough time. Was Protec the beginning? Was it Protec or is it?
I think I moved away to Southend when I was 16, 17. I left like college. I went to Southend because they were running a score program, a program where it's not actually the actual academy, but it's a pathway into the academy, so they said. So like I said, football was tough for me. I couldn't get in the school team. I couldn't get into any academy team. No one would have a look at me. So I managed to somehow get into this score program with Southend where you do education and play football at the same time. But I think it was more a marketing thing where they told a pack of lies to get whatever, because we had no chance of getting into the Southend team. So within a few months, I knew that wasn't the case. So I thought, you know what, I need to make movement. So my dad suggested to me to go back to Ghana to try and play football out there. So I said, you know what, anything just to be part of a team and just to see what it was like playing football. So I travelled out to Ghana, went out there to play for a team called Asamoah, which happens to be the team when I was growing up in Ghana. I was born in Ghana, which was a team I supported, which is like crazy fanatic people there. They loved their football there. You know what I mean? So I went out there and I had to train and I had to obviously impress in the trial. I went out there, trained with them. The first training session, I had to literally sit out because it was way too hot. I just couldn't cope with it. It was way too hot. But then I acclimatized and I started doing well, and the fans started taking to me. But it was so aggressive, and I was still like tiny and stuff. It was really aggressive, and the people there were like 3, 4 times, 2, 3 heads are like this. And I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to navigate? But I done well, used my intelligence, used my feet, 1-2 touches, and they offered me a contract, and that was it really. I stayed out there for 6 months, but then the coach that was coaching the team was from England.
Oh, okay.
And he decided that he wanted to go back to England, so I just said, you know what, I want to go back as well. That's when my non-league journey started. When I came back, I joined an academy called Protec. It's similar to the Southend thing as well, but they weren't attached to any club. I played out there, and the manager was kind of like close to the manager of Barking. So I went out there to Barking, played, I think, a season and a half. No, so I played half a season for Barking. Then I went to Hampden and Richmond, played a few games for them, and I was just doing the rounds, like the usual non-league stuff, just bouncing from club to club, trying to settle. So it's not until I went to Slough, and while I was still at Protec, that I had a trial with Leicester City. Went well, done well. I thought I was going to get a contract, but it didn't happen.
You explain why?
Do you know what? I played like 3 or 4 games for them, and I scored. That time was Peter Taylor, that was the manager. And you remember, I think the last 3 games ago, we played he was manager more
than Tiptree. Yeah.
And I actually went and spoke to him and said, yo.
yeah. Listen, I'm not holding a grudge or anything, but what happened there?
It still kind of hurts. It still kind of hurts still.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd done everything. I thought I had the contract in the bag. The agent, they told me how much I was gonna get. They told me the length of the contract and everything. And my agent at the time just came in and just said the deal's off. And I didn't know why. Obviously, I didn't have the confidence to go and speak to the club myself. I didn't have no one backing me up and stuff like that as well. So I just believed every word he said and just, you know what, it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be. Then I went back. I was like, I fell out of love with football completely. I just said, you know, when I see a football, I don't want nothing to do with football. I was just in a state of depression. You know what I mean? But then one of my friends came up to me and said, yo, I'm going to an open trial for Northampton where anyone can just turn up. So we rocked up, got on the train, got to Northampton. It was at the stadium as well.
Yeah.
So we got bibbed up or whatever, played the game, and I done really well. I think I scored about 4 or 5 goals in that game. And I was the only one they asked back.
Oh, really?
Come back this was in about just after the season.
Yeah.
I was the only one they asked to come back for pre-season. So
that's big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, it was upwards and onwards.
Yeah, from there.
Just aside from some of the obstacles that you came across.
From there, should we say the roller coaster of a footballer's career started.
No, that's big. Jabo, the club that you've been at the longest is Leyton Orient, right? How long were you there for?
Like I said, I joined Leyton Orient when I was 12. And I used to sort of live in Islington, so I would just trek over there. And back then, it wasn't how it looks now. You know, the A12 was there. It looked like a scene out of Crime Watch. So, but I would travel down there on my own.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And I had a group of guys that, when we were at a school team, the uncle was the youth team coach or like the academy coach, say under 13s or something. So his dad used to always take us down in a taxi to training sessions, and it was all kind of cushy.
Yeah.
But when we were about 13, they all decided to leave for Barnet because they were going to get like an academy contract guaranteed or something.
Yeah.
So I just, and I was sort of going all right. Always kept myself to myself, always just sort of like headstrong. I didn't really follow anyone. You know, if I felt it was good for me, I have to make my own decision.
Yeah, of course.
The decision came when they said, "So you're going to come along?" I went, "No, I'm going to stay." So that meant no lift, I have to travel on my own, blah, 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 because my parents obviously working and everything. And I did it, but I think it gave me the resilience. It gave me sort of that stamina that, you know, I'm trekking from Highbury, getting an overground or getting the bus. And I think that set me in good stead. So when I was on my own, I think one of the coaches there, Chris Ramsey, who's now at QPR, and he's done England and everything, he was like, you know, if you knuckle down, you've got a good chance.
Yeah.
And I went to America and for a month on holiday, and I was a fair height. I wasn't like taller how I am now. Came up from America, I was hitting nearly 6 foot.
How old were you at the time?
I was 15.
15?
Yeah. I just come back and was just mad confidence as well. Like I was just like walking around. Yeah, I'm the man in it. Had a jacket, I remember, with a big collar. I think I was the boy. Yeah. But suddenly I just grew with confidence. And from then I was just playing above my age. I'll go in when we had like half terms. I would go in with the youth team, and then I'll play sort of like youth team games. Then it was like under 17s, under 19s. Something. It was just under 19s then, but I'll just play with them, or I'll be amongst them. Yeah. And I was just getting sort of fast tracked through, and then that's when I sort of knuckled down, took it really seriously. And went from there. I think I made my debut at 17. I was playing the first team at 17.
Okay. And making a debut at 17, were you at Leyton Orient for a consistent period, or was it a case where you were there for maybe a year or two, went out on loan, came back, or you left? Like what? No,
so at that point, I've gone through the academy. At 15, I was told like I'm going to get a contract, etc., like an academy contract, schoolboy contract and stuff. And so like I said, I knuckled down, and that season we won sort of like with the youth, I think it was the Youth Alliance Cup. So it weren't like academy, so you play against Arsenal and stuff, just like a tier below. Yeah. We won that league, won the cup, we smashed it. And then, like I said, I grew. I was scoring loads of goals. I used to play midfield, funny enough, as well. I was
Centre
actually
mid.
midfield. As a centre mid, I could.
If you're 6 foot, you always even play as a centre back. It's usually centre back or striker, and centre mid. DM.
No, I was attacker. I could score. I just had like Vieira type, just break up play, drive with the ball, and shoot from the edge of the box. So they said, but we think you'll get in the first team quicker if you go in as a forward. And like I said, I grew. And that season, I think I scored like 21 goals in the youth team. And then I think there was injuries in the first team. I had a successful year in the youth team that year, and I made my debut. Yeah. And then a few months later, I made my starting debut, scored 2 goals. Then ended up playing in the playoff final at Millennium Stadium.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. I was just on it, but it's just like the opportunity came, and obviously you're nervous and everything, and often when you're in and around the youth setup, and when you're amongst your peers, you're the main man. It feels good.
Yeah.
And then someone go, you can't whistle, but someone whistle over. I need 2 players, and you'd be like, I have to go with the first team. I used to dread it.
Really?
Although
that's an opportunity that you kind of thrive on.
That's what you think. It was we want to be there.
Yeah.
But you used to dread going over there because they were like, back then, they weren't. I think when I was senior and when I was a pro and everything, I felt I was a bit more of a hip senior player. Yeah. I could mingle with the youngsters. I was there.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, these guys seemed like there was a different breed. They weren't safe like how I think we are now. Yeah. So you used to go over there and you give the ball away, they'll effing blind at you, and it was just a horrible experience. So every time I just look away, jabba. But then you grew with confidence. The more you went over there, you got to enjoy it. You got to thrive a bit more. So eventually I settled, but initially I used to dread it. You know what I mean?
Oh man. Well, yeah, I think, and you raised a good point. It's not about the age gap being close. I think it's more of a case where older heads are now adjusting to relating to the younger players. So I think a lot has changed. Del.
Yeah.
There's a few bits I want to touch on. This has been itching me to ask you this, by the way. I haven't asked you this outside of football and us playing alongside each other. Nice. We spoke about this after a game, yeah? I really want to know. So, that Nice controversial period, yeah?
Yeah.
What happened? So, you were at Shrewsbury at the time, right?
So what do you know about it, Chris?
All I know is, okay, I think you're at Shrewsbury. I'm just gonna add a bit of context and paraphrase. You're at Shrewsbury for however long. You weren't playing, or you won't get the amount of game time that you were expecting to get. And then Nice, there was this conversation of Nice putting an offer for you. You went AWOL. You were missing. I've seen this time AWOL was definitely like...
AWOL was mentioned.
Yeah, definitely mentioned. You went AWOL. You didn't discuss with Shrewsbury about your wants and needs, etc. And then you've moved to Nice. But then when you moved to Nice, you didn't play. So I don't know what's more controversial. The fact that you moved to Nice without informing Shrewsbury, or like the game time being limited.
Do you know what it is? Because football is such a short career, innit?
Yeah.
And 100%. At that time, I think I was 25, 26. I've been doing the League 1, League 2 scene for like 5, 6 years, and I'm not getting the chances, you know what I mean, to progress my career and stuff. So basically, what happens, like, we played in a playoff final.
We being Shrewsbury?
Yeah, Shrewsbury against Bristol Rovers at Wembley. Okay. And we lost the game. I was very much part of... I was playing every game. I was very much part of Shrewsbury. I was their top scorer and top assist that year for Shrewsbury Town. And we played the game. Obviously, we lost, and Bristol Rovers got promoted. So, I don't know if you know, but after every season, you have a meeting with the manager, and he tells you the plans for the following season, whether you're in these plans or you're not.
This is a standard procedure for pro clubs, right?
Yeah, it's a standard, whether you have a contract or not.
I'm just non-league. I'm not, okay, cool. Yeah. The luxury, okay, cool.
Yeah, so I had a year's contract left with Shrewsbury. So I went, knocked on the door opened up. Oh, come and sit down. So we sat down, and he explained to me that he's very grateful for what I've done for the club, but he feels I had a funny relationship. Even though I started every game, there was I don't know. There was a bit of funny. We didn't quite,
weird energy.
Yeah, weird energy. We didn't. He played me every game, but we just did. There was that weird energy. So he was like, "You've done well. You've done well for me, but I don't think that. I think it's better that we part ways." And he said to me that Swindon Town at the time, they were a league above, said that they're interested in me and they want to sign me, and they've offered like money for me, and the deal is just about me going through the deal and getting the deal done. I was like, do you know what? Funny enough, I got family in Oxford. Swindon's closer to Oxford than what do you call it? Than Shrewsbury.
Yeah.
So all right, fair enough. We can do it. No, as soon as I walked out the office, I get a phone call from a French agent that tried to take me to Greece before to a team called Panionios in the Greek Super League, but I said no, I wasn't ready to go abroad. And he phoned me up and said, "Yo, Nice want to sign you. What do you think about that, Nice?" I was like, hadn't really heard of them, but I knew. Actually, I tell a lie. I actually played against Nice for Ghana. When I first got my first cap, we played against Nice. So I think they were
gonna touch on that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, so I played against them before, and he said Nice want to sign you. So I said, "Are you joking?"
As in, you excited or you're like?
I said I'm excited, and I don't want to get overexcited because I don't know if he's telling the truth or not, because Nice at the time were a big club in the French First Division, playing against Monaco and PSG and Lyon and them teams. Like that. Nice want me, so I didn't believe it. So he showed me like obviously all the paperwork and stuff, all the contracts that they want me to sign.
All the zeros that they were adding on. Yeah.
All the zeros that they were adding, because like I said, I've been in League One, League Two, earning decent money, but when you see so much zeros, I'm like thinking, yo, this is a great opportunity for me. So I done the right thing. I went to the manager. I said, his name was Gary Peters. I said, yo, Gary, I know you want me out, which is fair enough, but now another team has come in for me, and it's Nice in the south of France. They want me to go and sign for them. He said, "You're not going." I was like, "Huh?" He said, "You're not going." I said, "But why?" Like, because this deal with Swindon is done. You just have to go over there and sign. I said, "But that can't happen. I've got a better deal where they're tripling or whatever money I'll be getting at Swindon. Why can't I go?" So anyway, I left it like that, and I called the French agent and said, "Yo, I can't go. Sorry, deal's off." And I can't remember the conversation I had with him. He's like, "Yo, are you crazy? Are you crazy? What do you mean you're not coming? You're letting him, Gary Peters, like, can I swear on it? Like, mess up your career." But obviously, if he had the opportunity to go to Man U, you think
you can't swear, by the way. If he was swearing, you could just say,
"You're gonna let Gary Peters fuck up your career?
Yeah.
Get your bag and let's go to Nice. And get your bag and come to Nice and sign this contract. Don't do this to yourself. You deserve this. Do not do this to yourself." I said, "But I'm under contract." He said, "I don't care. Opportunities like this don't come very often." You remind me of like a mafia guy, the way he was like communicating. He's like, "Derek, don't let this go. Pack your bag. Trust me. They will let you go after they offer the money and stuff. They will let you go." But I'm petrified at this moment in time. I'm like, people don't know this, but I was actually like really scared. Like, am I actually going to do this? So he managed to convince me. I got my stuff. I phoned Gary Peters and said, "I'm not well. I'm stressed. I'm not coming training. I'm resting. I'm resting." So the next thing he knows is like there's stuff in the papers and stuff that I'm in Nice and I'm about to sign a contract, and the manager of like the people of Nice contacted Shrewsbury and said like they want to sign me and blah blah blah. And Gary Peters like went to the papers and absolutely like destroyed me, saying, "We didn't give him permission to go to Nice. We didn't know where he was. He didn't tell me anything about the Nice deal." I'm thinking, oh, this is a lie. You like kind of knew where I was because I told you about the Nice deal. So that's where the AWOL bit came from. But he knew exactly where I was. So
Yeah. So they could have like, not deregistered you, but they could have taken you out of your contract if they wanted to.
They could have, but like the agent was right in a way because they said money talks in football.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Do you know what I
that's the
mean?
nature of the
And he was
sport.
telling me, Derek, as long as they offer Shrewsbury money, everything will be cool. But do not let this opportunity pass you by.
Yeah.
And he was right. As soon as I went out there, looked at the place, beautiful stadium, training ground, amazing, leveled up. Nice, I know, beautiful part of the south of France, near Monaco, Saint-Tropez, Cannes, you know, unbelievable. I thought I was living in a dream, really. So there's no way I'm going back. They can't. Like you said, I was a bit afraid that they could hold my registration and not release me, but money talks, and they offered the money, and then
So you didn't get fined or nothing. You went, but you didn't get fined or nothing like that. You didn't get taken or nothing like that.
No, nothing like that happened, and I wouldn't advise it. But at the end of the day, football, like I said, I've been doing the rounds in League One, League Two. I haven't got like any substantial savings, and I got a family as well, young family, and this opportunity came over, which I was hoping that was going to change my life, like play season out there, or even half a season, and return back in the Championship or the Premier League, and that was the pathway I was looking at for myself, but it was a difficult time there as well.
Yeah, but it's a story to tell, and it's experience that you went through. So now credit for going out there, because I think there's also this fear factor. And I don't know if you noticed it as well, but with English players going abroad, obviously, thankfully now there's a lot more, especially younger players going abroad and playing and getting an opportunity and doing as well as they can, and then if they do well, they have the opportunity of coming back to the bigger Premier League clubs or English clubs. We also mentioned Ghana. Congratulations on getting the Ghana international call up. Anyone that gets a call up to their respective international teams and countries, it's a very, very big achievement. Did you notice how big it was at the time, or was it a case where it's like this is big? Like,
do you know what it was? It was like I was having a terrible time with it. I thought my football career was actually like I was going to end up back in non-league because I was playing for a team called Lincoln.
Lincoln City.
Yeah.
They're League One, no?
Yeah, they were. Yeah. And they loaned me out to a team called Chester City.
Also League One, no?
No, they were
League
Back
Two.
then, with League Two, innit?
They were League Two. Yeah. But it was different. It wasn't even Championship back in the days, innit? It was League One.
It was League One.
Then League... And then Division
Coca-Cola,
Two.
innit? Coca-Cola.
Yeah, but but it was equivalent of League Two today.
Oh, okay.
So Lincoln was in League Two, and they loaned me out to Chester. I went out to Chester. I played it the first few games, but we was right at the bottom of the league, and we had a new manager coming, Mark Wright, and straight away he took the apartment the club had for me. He tried to unsettle me. Like, he started making me train the youth team. I wasn't getting anywhere near the first team. It was depressing, and I had my last year as well, and my stats wasn't up there where clubs can say, okay, come here or whatever. So I thought I'm going back to non-league. So I think we had a game away to Boston, and one of the strikers called in sick, and another couldn't make it for whatever reason. And I just had a phone call on the day that you need to come on the coach. You're going to Boston. So I was like, I've been frozen out, no training, no nothing. You're going to Boston to play. So I just looked at myself and said, it's like now or never. So I went out there, bottom of the league, scored a hat trick. Won the game, won the first game in like 15 games. Their first game. Yeah. Won it. Manager's on the radio. Yeah, we knew he was a good player. It's just his attitude. He's this, he's that. You know what I mean?
Chestnut.
So anyway, the next game came along. We played, I think, Wrexham, local derby. Scored 2 goals. So that's like 5 goals in 2 games.
Yeah, so that's
next
a
game.
10K goal bonus as well. Yeah. No.
Yeah, so yeah, I was happy, and the next game came along, scored. So I had like at one point 8 goals in like four games or something. You know what I mean? And the team had climbed away from the relegation, and I've gone from this is football. This is why I tell all youngsters and everyone that you know, today's different from tomorrow in football. One day's a long time. So what do you call it? Then, because I was doing so well, my name was getting about again, and the manager called me to his office and was like, "We got an email from Federation of Ghana Football Association." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And it's like, "You've been selected to play for the national team." I was like, Are you having me? What is this? So he gave me the list, and he gave me the list of the players that was on it as well, and I was like, and my name was at the bottom.
How old were you at the time?
I was 25. There was like some SCN, Asamoah, Montari, Stephen Appiah, all these Chelsea, Juventus, and there's Derek, that's Manchester City, and I was like, I was like, what on earth? But I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, and it was just all in a matter of I think 4 weeks from sitting at home.
Thinking football
was done.
Yeah.
4 weeks later, I've got an international call-up, going to play with big superstars.
Yeah, that's the magical part about football, man. Yeah. That's very, very good. Jabo, are you Nigerian?
Yeah,
Nigerian. Yeah. Have you had any links or any international?
Only when I was, I think I played England under 17s.
Okay.
And then in international football, I mean, there was opportunities to sort of like get a pathway to get into Nigeria, like play for the national team. I just never was really interested in doing it.
Okay.
Because I really grew up here, and I never really went back too often. Once I was a bit older, I just felt, you know, I'll go there and I'll just be I wouldn't settle and stuff like that. So
looking back on it now, if things were different and looking back on it now, would you opt to play for Nigeria, or would your mindset still be the same? Where it's like, I wouldn't go.
I'd still be the same. Yeah. Still be the same. I just think if I went there more often, I was really cultural and everything with it, no problem. But at the time, I was playing a lot of games. Like I said, I was in the first team playing. National football wasn't really on my radar.
Yeah.
And then when someone said, you know, we could get you through, and I was like, I barely go there. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So it just would have felt false to me.
Can you speak the language?
I can understand. I can speak the necessaries, but I'm not fluent. Either.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what
I mean? But being 17 and having you got the England call up at 17. How was that? What players did you play with? Are there any like
Defoe was there?
Okay.
Leon Knight, a guy called David Noble, Sidwell, like loads, and you know, again, you're there, and back then when you're going from like a say like a team that's out of the Premiership sort of thing, you know, it's a big deal because not many people would go from say like League One, League Two to England. It's a bit more now, but them days it was a rarity.
Yeah.
So you know, it was just good to learn and see who you're up against, because I looked at the photo and I was thinking, geez, this guy's complete. He looked like the real deal. He looked like finished then. Yeah. You know what I mean? And
the levels were completely
it was different. It was just different. Striking. But like I said, I was playing in around the first, so I felt quite good. I felt fine in myself. And then you went there, you got all of that little thing. It's nationwide. It was nationwide kit and all that.
Yeah, the training gear.
And we get to keep it. Get like a bag full of stuff, and but you felt good. You know what I mean? You felt part of it. You know, and it was just a totally different experience to what I've experienced prior to that. And it was probably enjoyable, but you got to see the standard, the level. You know, it was a nice little wake up call to say, right, there's levels to this sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was great. Got to play at Wembley. We trained at Wembley. I think we played at Bisham Abbey. I think the game was held or something like that. But yeah, we got to do lots of things. So it was good.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fast forward now to both your times at Carlisle. How did that come about? Who went to Carlisle first?
I went to Carlisle first, the first year.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have a clue that he was gonna come to Carlisle. It was like the second year I was there.
How old were you at the time?
I think I was 35.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that how old you were at Carlisle?
Yeah.
I know they say black don't crack, but you definitely look. Looking at the pictures, you definitely look younger than that. Okay.
Yeah.
You can still shift as
Yeah,
well.
Oh, don't worry, listen, we're gonna speak about it.
Yeah. So I was just turning up for training, and I saw his big head. I was like, Jabo, what are you doing here? Yeah, I'm signing for you. I'm signing.
Because many years has passed since we, you know what I mean? We it was like ages.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember when we broke in and I remember, I think, was it Northampton then or someone? And we used to cross paths, or Lincoln, I think it was Lincoln. We used to say hi, and then 10, 12 years gone, and then we're just like at Carlisle. And it's like, you would never envisage, like, I remember playing them for various teams. I'd be like, imagine playing this far away from home, I'll never come here. And then, boy,
Carlisle was the game that you look out in the fixtures and you're like, if I'm gonna get a red card, or if I'm gonna get
How many yellow cards can I rack up at this point? You get 5 yellow cards, you like that, innit? You can kind of miss your game.
Carlisle hammy.
That's a Carlisle hammy, or you'll have like if the fixture's around Christmas, you'll dread it because it's just like a long that you might travel a couple of days after Christmas, and you're just like, I don't need this.
Yeah.
So you always look out for that. That was the furthest game. It was just different. It was just like a different to sort of being down south.
Yeah.
I'll never ever envisaged myself ever signing there. But for once, it was normally when when I signed for clubs and stuff, I always take into consideration sort of location for me was important. Obviously, your wages are important. I never would sign necessarily for manager didn't bother me. You know what I mean? Because I just backed myself. If I'm on it, I'll do the business. So I was very focused like that. But as a manager that I went for on this occasion, it was just different, man. It was just different.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, why Carlisle?
It was him.
Don't give me an offers come. Carlisle.
It was just the gaffer sold me the dream. He sold me it. He just it was brilliant.
His sales pitch must have been mad.
Oh man, I met him in Manchester, and
who was this? The gaffer?
Keith Curl.
Okay.
What a guy! Honestly, what a guy. Different. And I met him and a guy called Lee Dykes, another brilliant guy, and we're just speaking about the enthusiasm and how they've they've got the place on lock, and you come up here, you do well for us, and I was getting on a bit at this point as well. I think I was about 32 maybe, I can't remember. I was getting on, and he was like, "We'll look after you," and because he played into his like late sort of 30s and stuff, he knew how to sort of like look after senior players, older players. So I took that as like, he might give me a few more years in the game because he just knows how to look after older players. Yeah. And he said, look, you did business for me, you don't even have to be here. You can just be down in London, train in London, come up for training and the game, stuff like that. I would kind of reward you. It was a bit like, you do well, I'll look after you, like that, in that respect. And then we had great bonuses, unbelievable bonuses, like bonuses I've never even thought my agent to put on my contract. Yeah. I was getting defensive bonuses. You know what I mean? So I'm a striker, but the theory behind it was
starts from
attack.
Yeah. So is that how he sold it?
That's how he sold it. Just there's bare thing, but you had to earn it though. His thing was, you get paid well, but you have to earn it.
Yeah.
And that's how it was. And when you knew, okay, there's carrots if we do, they're dangling. If you know if you're going to do the business, you're going to get rewarded. That's how it was. And the bonuses up there, team spirit. And we had like a bit of like a London affiliation, London connection. A few boys coming from London.
That's so good.
We all kind of grouped together. And it was different gear, innit? It was brilliant.
It was like home away from home kind of vibe. Because like you said, we had Troy, we had
Alex McQueen, Angela Atlanta.
Yeah, I think there was like 5 of us. Always used to hang out. But with him as well was the gaffer really, Keith Curl. Because I played for him for Mansfield. Then he's the one that took me to Chester. But then he got the sack and Mike Wright came in, and then he brought me to Carlisle when I just got back from South Korea. So, he phoned me up and said, "Oh, what are you doing, mate?" I said, "No, I'm just chilling there. Come up." I was like, Carlisle. I was like, where are you at? I was like, Carlisle. I'm like,
Did you know where it was, or did you?
no,
It sounded long.
we knew what it was because, like you said, we played in the league, and that's the game, the fixture you look out for. Obviously, you look out for the derbies or what games you want to play, and then you look out for the games that you don't, like the Darlingtons or the Carlisles, or you know what I mean. And
like 6 hours on the coach, so it was just ones that you just like. Ugh.
Yeah, imagine from travelling to Yeovil from Carlisle.
Well, I'm sure thinking about the bonus helped though.
It was just.
It has to.
Definitely, because if you're going to go that far, it needs to work. It needs to work for you, sort of thing. And but he made it work, especially at that age as well for me. You know, but he made you earn it as well. But you knew the more I put in, the better the team would be, the better we all do. And he created such a great vibe, great team spirit, and we blasted. I think didn't think we lost the game up till Christmas. Okay. We were scoring for fun, and we had some amazing cup runs. We played Liverpool, played Everton as well.
You scored at Anfield, though.
Yeah. Scored at Anfield.
Yeah,
great.
Jabo, you played that game as well.
Yeah, I played. I come on and didn't start that game. I didn't really start the cup games. I was like, just didn't play the cup games.
Yeah,
midweek games or just.
Were you not bothered, or?
No, I wasn't bothered.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't bothered.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was like more. League was more your thing. That was more my thing.
You want them players.
And then cup games, I was just like, not interested. I'm not interested. That's partly because I wanted to rest. I was older as well. I wanted to rest my body.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic squad. And there was like loads of competition. So I was like, I was happy. I didn't make no difference.
Would you say Carlisle was one of the best clubs you both played at? Outside, okay, so I know. Unless one of the clubs, we want to touch on South Korea shortly. Jabo, you were at Stockport, Colchester.
I started at Orient. I moved to Warsaw from Orient, and I did like a season there. And that was like my first move away from leaving the big city. So I was always like had the offers. I had people coming from before, but I just. I'll say I bottled it really. I didn't want to leave home. And most clubs were coming. I had Brighton, had Scunthorpe, various teams when I was a kid, Birmingham, and I just weren't ready at that point.
How old were you at the time?
At the time, I think I was like 20. I was 20, 21, and I was just like, London, you know everything. I had a girlfriend then and all that. I was like, I don't want to leave and whatever. So eventually I did have to go. Just to better myself, to go on, you know, because sometimes when you're at a club where you've come through the youth team, you kind of always, unless you go and get that move, which I was highly rated at the time, but I got a few injuries, so I never kind of regained that sort of early promise. Yeah. And I think you're always seen as a kid. So if you're going to get pulled out, it's always you. Yeah. Even if you've murked it or you didn't play as bad as this player, but he's senior, they brought him in, so you had to eventually go. Yeah, I went to Warsaw, and again, it was magnificent. You grow up, and I think sometimes when you sort of something can seem like, I don't want to do. You could be apprehensive. It's all different. It was one of the best experiences I've ever had. It gave me so much confidence. Understood. I learned so much about my game. Even just having to pay bills, bought my first house, and blah blah blah. Just all that just made me become a man. And I smashed it that season. Yeah, smashed it. Then all of a sudden I had all these clubs, champ clubs, League One clubs, and everything. And opportunity came to go MK Dons. They brought me back down south. Yeah. And then Roberto Di Matteo was the manager at that point. Oh, yeah. And so I was like, I met him in Holiday Inn in Brent Cross at the hotel, chatted him and Eddie Newton. I'm coming here, buzzing, sort of like got a good deal and everything, and they're a club, progressive club, great stadium, had massive aspirations and etc. And then the last game of the season, I got injured. I pulled my hamstring, got a bad hamstring tear, and so I knew they were signing me injured. And then
did they know that?
They knew that. Yeah, they knew that everything. They were happy because we played MK Dons the last game of the season. They had to win to get to have a chance of automatically going up. Okay. I think I scored the goal that kept him in the playoffs. Okay. And at the time, I didn't know anything. They come in for me after that game. Yeah. So I was thinking if I didn't score and they would have come in for me anyway, they would have just gone straight to the champ sort of thing. I kept them in like League One at that point. And so they signed me injured, But then Roberto Di Matteo, 2 weeks after my meeting, took the West Brom job. So I was just like,
I remember that.
Should have come to me 2 weeks later, man. Could have took me. And he said that as well. He said, I still would have took you. So he ended up signing another guy from Oldham. Can't remember his name. Another nice player. And I was just like, if I was 2 weeks later, I could have followed him. Then I started my career there, but injured, and Paul Ince got the job. And he was there previously. And before he got a big move to Blackburn. Yeah. Everyone said, yeah, he's amazing, he's this, that. And I was thinking, Paul Ince, legend, the governor, England, all this stuff. He was just different. Weren't what you expected.
So opposite of what you anticipated.
I thought it was going to be a man's man, you know, especially being London and black and all that. I just thought, he's going to be like, opposite. Didn't speak to no one.
Really?
Didn't speak to no one. Spoke to one person, the captain. You see him, you be like, you walk in the morning, you see the gaffer, you be like, oh shit, man. and he would just be like, And then he spoke to Puncham in the end, work at Jermaine Eastern, a skipper. That was it. And he was known as the governor.
Yeah.
You couldn't even address, you had to call him the governor.
And power tripping.
Yeah, he was, because I think in Italy, when he was Inter Milan captain and all that, there was a way of hierarchy and the way they did things. And we used to, when we had away games and we'll have our dinner, we all have your pre-match meals day before and everything. Yeah. And the players would sit down, we'll go up and eat. His staff now had to wait for him to let them go up. So they'll sit there, we'll be eating. And someone what? Staff will be sitting on the table and they'll go to governor. They go up, so he goes, you may go. These are grown-ass men. Alex Ray, Paul Hild, play for Wimbledon, all these proper men. Had to ask permission. So you go up, get your meal, then sit down. No one could eat. Until you got permission. And we'll be watching thinking, and that's how it was. It was different. And so in long story short, I got sent out on loan because I wasn't his player sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that's when I went to.
Were you mad at that? Were you mad at that?
To be fair, it was a big move for me, and it was. I was behind because I missed pre-season, and then obviously a new manager comes in, and then when I came back in, I was dead. I was rusty. My touch was off. When you're not striking the ball well, you shoot. My confidence was lost, but I signed a good deal, so. I was like, F it, I'm just going to enjoy it. So I took more time. My focus was more off the field rather than on the field. I used it as a way just to sort of, how can I say, it wasn't going well for me there. Come on, boys, we're all going out, blah, blah, blah. So I got into that sort of role.
Yeah.
Soon after, was like, you know what, we've come here for a reason, we've come here for a purpose. Let's not bottle it. Let's not, let's get focused. So when I went to Southend, I hadn't played, I was a bit overweight. It was the worst experience I've ever. The worst kind of. It was one of the worst experiences I've ever had as a player. If I'm honest, I played 4 games, didn't score, did nothing. I was dead, but it woke me up.
Yeah. So
when I went back there, I thought, okay, they don't want to play me. I'm not going to play at MK Dons at this moment in time. Stockport came in for me, and I was like, again. Not north, I have to move away. One of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah.
I said, okay. And this is how I seen loans then was you go on loan to prove that you're missing me and that the club I go on loan to, they want to sign me. I use that as, I don't go on loan as a jolly up. I go on loan, like, I'm going to score the goals because we're in the same league.
Yeah.
So it was almost just like, okay, I'm in the same league, but I'm not playing here. I'm going to go bang goals. I'm going to just mash it up, which I did.
Yeah.
And then I came back the following summer, on it, practice, because I was fearing shooting, I was fearing touching with all these players, all these names I've sort of seen and stuff. I was a bit like, I was on it. I knew they didn't want to play me, but I made sure you had to play me.
Yeah, you had that fire.
You had that fire. So when sometimes players say to me, it's the manager. It's never the manager.
Yeah.
It's you.
Yeah.
Because if you smash it, every opportunity you get, if you come in a sub and you do the business, you do the business, they have to play you. He starts looking stupid. So I never played victim. Okay. And then that was it. And I played MK Dons. I started playing there regularly. And then towards the end of my contract, I went on loan to Colchester, and then Barnsley, and then Carlisle, and then Cambridge. And that's how it went.
Okay, just some stats. Yeah. Correct me wrong. This is gonna be a bad day. Correct me if I'm wrong. 41 years old. 31 games. 22 goals. Guys, I'm gonna say it one more time. 41 years of age. 31 games. 22 goals. How? No. Because,
How did Yem know?
like, don't get me wrong. I think when it comes to football, yeah, age really is nothing but a number. But then it gets to a point where it's like, whether it's personal stuff or your physical body or just other circumstances, or trying to venture out in different places. As a player, goalkeepers tend to last. Well, they tend to play a lot longer than players. Well, goalkeepers tend to play a lot longer than general players, especially defenders. Defenders tend to play a lot longer than midfielders and strikers. Midfielders tend to play a lot longer than strikers. As an attacker, I'm going to say attacker because I think you used to play out wide, but obviously you're a striker. Yeah. How have you been able, you don't even need to give us your secret ingredient, but how, like at the age of 41, how have you maintained that level of consistency of still playing? Because you're playing non-league now. Yeah. Obviously, we're playing alongside each other in New Salamina. And when you came in, I thought it was banter that you were 40 years old. Because we played alongside each other for 2 years now, 2 seasons now. When you came in, I didn't believe you were 40. I didn't. I genuinely thought it was a joke. Then we had a conversation. You're like, yeah, no, all jokes aside, I'm 40. I'm like, okay, cool. Then you were just bagging these ridiculous goals. So, like, can you just touch on how much of a fact that age is nothing but a number, and it's just on what things you need to do, what things you could do just to maintain that level of consistency or playing as long as you can? Or is it the fact that you got that West African genes?
I'm not gonna say that. First time I've been asked this question. I mean, it's
you like the way the stats were. Do you want to say it again?
Are we saying the 2 year stat or just? I think I've got nearly 50 goals.
50. Yeah, for Salamina. Yeah. But yeah, you scored like 30 plus. Yeah. Step 5. Yeah. Don't ever take step 5 for granted as well, because it's still competitive. Then step 4, you've 22. Yeah. So that's 50 goals in 2 years. You can go on.
Yeah, go on. I don't know if there's. Do you know what it is? Football is more about intelligence, isn't it? It's more because I started out in non-league for Barking. Played 15, 16 games. I scored 3 or 4 goals. You know what I mean? And it was a similar level as now. But then I had my youth. I had my hunger. I had my ambition. I had everything like pumping me. But yet, I can only manage 4 goals. You know what I mean? But then, like you said, 41, I'm scoring these goals for fun. Yet, I'm not as fast. I'm not as athletic or whatever. But what I do have now is the intelligence. And I think for any youngsters out there, is that you need to focus on the education of football a lot more than, say, your stepovers or your rainbow flicks or or them kind of things. You need to educate yourself in football, like where to be, the position where you need to be. Because like back in the days when I was starting out in pro, I receive a ball, but I receive a ball square. But now, as a striker, I'm not the biggest, but I can hold the ball up as well as Jabo can. You know what I mean? So it's all about, you have to teach yourself to move off the defender to the left or to the right, and then position yourself where you can see the defender and you can see the ball. You know, back in the days, I'll receive, because I had the ability, I'll receive it, and then I'll be able to waste like bare energy just making that turn, when in fact I could have just moved to the side of it, change my body position, make sure I can see the whole of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And with things like that, that is so much more better to round you off as a complete footballer than physical attribute. Of course, obviously I can run still, but it all starts from here. And if you can get that from a young age, start that off from a young age, you're gonna have a very good career. That's what I'm trying to pass on to my kids. Like, yes, the physical and the being able to run fast, everything's important. But if you can add the intelligence and the awareness and everything else there is to do with football apart from the physical, then you stand a whole better chance, because I'm proving it right now that I'm getting to positions. I'm not even, I can still outrun and defend, but the first 2-3 yards, it's up here already.
Yeah.
The first 3 yards, I can see like Ryan has the ball. I can see that I need to bring the defender in to make the run behind, instead of just standing level with them and just running offside and stuff like that, wasting crucial energy. So I just think studying the game and being a student of the game is so important to maintain. And you save energy as well. You're able to look after yourself better.
Fine. When you're a kid and when you first break into a team, you used to do aimless running, channel.
Yeah.
And when you used to play with like a senior striker, he'll score. And you'd be like, I don't know the running. He's just done nothing and scored, because you're running in the wrong place. You're running channel. He's just staying in the box. You're doing his work.
Yeah,
and that's what happened. And I think you become much more efficient. You know how to use your tools.
That's happened this year. You know, Derek, you got onto me, yeah? This guy, I will never, and the thing is, I've taken it on board. With me, I'm a very good listener. This guy was saying, and it was after a game, he's clipped out a part of a game. He's like, George, why does it look like you're not running back to help the fullback? I'm like, I've told Derek, I'm tired. I've been running up and down. I'm just tired. It's like, I understand that, but if you're gonna run back, just pretend that you're running back fast. Then you don't have to just pretend. I'm like, okay, I'll do my best. So I did take it on board. But you understand what I was coming from. I was tired.
Yeah.
As a winger, because I like to think of myself, I'm a bit of an old school winger where I like to help the fullback.
Yeah.
When I can, some of these fullbacks are like, my Fozzie's going to see that I don't help out. I help out as much as I can. But then there's the thought process of, okay, when it's time to counter-attack and attack and help the strikers and the attackers, I have to get involved. So, no, I took that on board. I just had that because you raised the fact that obviously doing the attacking work or doing the defensive work to help to enable your striker to score goals is an important part of the team game. Before I ask you both like 3 different questions, I also wanted to touch on the fact that you've actually played football alongside your son Melise. Shout out to Melise as well, baller. How's that? Wait, before you answer that, Jabo, do you have any kids? Okay. Are they of age?
Not of age to play football.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Not the good age, yeah.
Early.
But yeah, Del, as a father that's been at big clubs and having the opportunity to play with your son, not once, but twice, one for Chesa and one for Salamis, how's that? Like, surely that goes down as one of the more moments to remember.
Yeah, 100% is. I could never have dreamt it. I didn't think like physically was possible to play football after 38, because there was a lot of players retiring at 35, and after Carlisle, I was playing best football. I just was chilling, playing best football, enjoying it, getting the workout, the fitness out of it. Do you know what I mean? And to play alongside someone that I've literally carried, and I literally started training when he was 2 years old. He's travelled all around the world with me. He's been to Scotland, he's been to south of France, he's been to Bulgaria, he's been to South Korea with me, every team just training along, and to watch him develop and watch him go through the youth system at Reading, and then to have the opportunity to play alongside him was a moment I'm going to cherish for a very long time, and I just literally couldn't believe that it's happened, and it felt surreal being on a pitch with him. And
You're gonna shed a tear.
I nearly shed a tear though when he scored against hashtag, because that's the first.
That's it. But that's a monumental moment. Like, that's a very, very important fact, because and the reason why I asked you gonna shed a tear, because that hasn't happened before. That hasn't happened before. So, like, you're gonna grow up, and the rest of your life you're gonna remember that moment. He's gonna remember it just as much as you are, but it's a moment that you're never gonna forget.
It's a moment.
So, not like, all done. You molded he's. Apart from the moments where he tries to disrespect me, because he needs to understand me. I'm a senior player.
They need to.
Yeah. No, like he's been brought up well, and he's focused and well structured. So, no, I'm praying that pro deal on the right club, like he settles at the right club. So, no, well done, and like it's gonna work out for him.
Thank you.
First questions I want to ask now. Just this smooth in the end. Question for both of you. First one. Top 5 favourite strikers of all time.
That's a lot.
Yeah, top 5. You're both strikers, right? Surely you have an idea of your favourite.
Well, I've got my favourite. Whether people agree with it is another thing. But my
let's say your favourite, not who you think is the top 5. Your favourite.
Ronaldo, the Brazilian, original one, the only one.
Yeah. The only one.
He's Ronaldo, man. The other one's brilliant. Don't get it wrong, but he's Ronaldo. It's the only one, Ronaldo. For me, this is for me. I loved Andy Cole.
Okay,
Andy Cole was tops. Ian Wright was inspirational for me growing up. Then obviously Cristiano Ronaldo, I think is a G, and George Weah.
Okay.
Shevchenko back then with Italian United was a madness, and them strikers were proper. Yeah. So
that's a good 5.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Jeez, 5. I'll say Brazilian Ronaldo as well. I feel like Romario.
Okay.
Because I was similar stature to him, and I would also say I like Drogba. He was a good player for me because of he was. I don't think he's the most naturally, but he's tried and he works, and that's one thing that I am as well. I've got all the tricks and flicks, but I also got the aggression to work hard. And when I see players do that, that's why I got at you.
I was tired. This guy doesn't answer.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You need to. I don't think I'll be able to become a manager. No one will play for me. Yeah. But he showed that side of the game that I love. But it's not just about scoring. Who are Ian Wright as well, like you said. Well, I like Shearer as well. His selfishness.
Yeah.
I like because sometimes you have to be selfish in those moments. I see times where he could slide someone through and he plays it out wide for them to cross it in.
Something that Dell does a lot, by the way. He does not bust the wingers at all.
But these wingers, you guys don't cross the ball.
Don't do that. Because you know, falling off in this.
These new age wingers, the inverted, the ones that.
I'm glad you said new age. You're not including me in this, are you? You know, he will tell you the times I put balls in the box, he's not even there.
I'm giving up.
You're not sure if they're going to pull it in, innit?
I'm not sure.
It took this guy at least a minimum of 8 games to realise, okay, George is one of those guys where he's going to open up and put in the box. And the times I did it, he wasn't there. He was busy out wide, just chilling near the corner flag.
Of course, why do I? But I've realised that now that you're different.
Special delivery.
His delivery is on point. I
appreciate that.
I just can't waste my energy.
I understand.
We have these wingers that just come in 10, 15 shots a game and just hit it against defenders, hit it over the bar. I'm like, come on, we've got to change it up a bit. Maybe I know it's not your strongest foot, but just whip one in, whip a couple in. It's like I'm like, even Melise said to me like, how the hell you got over 50 goals for?
Ridiculous.
Salamina. I said, one chance, one goal.
Yeah.
I have to be efficient. I have to take my chances because we don't play with the.
Yeah.
We don't like when we played hashtag. It was like crosses coming in everywhere and the strikers are getting better chances. We don't do that. I have to be very efficient. You know, I have to be like, and yeah.
Okay, cool. I think you missed it. So you said R9, Drogba, Shearer, Ian Wright, one more striker.
One more. Yeah, I'm gonna go for maybe Messi.
Okay. It's good.
Class him a striker. I work for.
You said Ronaldo, so Ronaldo's more of a striker.
I was gonna.
Let's say attackers. We can say attackers.
That's right. Cool.
Well,
that
amount of goals.
You have to take out Messi. You can't say.
That amount of goal, you have to kind of describe him.
He's more of attacking than a striker.
But he plays because he plays that central role, doesn't he? He's not on the left, he's not on the right. He plays that.
That's what he wants.
Yeah, does it?
Ain't
Yeah,
like a-
okay.
ain't like your, why you give it? No, man.
Yeah.
Then I'll say Cristiano then. But I'll take
Okay, take him out.
Ibrahimovic. What about him?
It's good you lot put a lot more English strikers than more than usually people would, because they usually okay, if it's not R9, it's Ibrahimovic, Shevchenko. I'm not saying Etu. You guys missed out Etu.
Yeah. I didn't see enough of him.
Okay.
I didn't watch him enough.
I
But
definitely
I like people that are in the, like people that just, you can choose strikers that score fabulous goals. And then get wrong, good strikers score, but then most strikers score in the box and get in those positions where, the tap-ins and I like strikers, that's how I was, and I like strikers that's who I learnt from.
Yeah.
So I look at those positionings and stuff like that, whereas people can say, this person, that person can score worldies from outside the box, 25 yarders, but a striker to me, touching the box, bang, touching the box, bang. Yeah. These strikers, inspired me when I was growing up. So
okay. Yeah. I did say 3 questions, but because of time, I'm gonna ask one more. Favorite managers you played under? Top 3 favorite managers you played for.
Keith Curle's definitely one of them because he was just a character. I've never experienced a manager like him. Off the cuff, but it was good. He was a good guy, but made you work hard.
Yeah.
Can I say an assistant manager?
Yeah.
John Gorman.
Okay.
Fabulous guy. Oh, brilliant. Such an infectious character. Very clever tactically, but he's put on great sessions and created a good atmosphere, whether you're in the team or not in the team. He was just a good guy. And I suppose my youth, I have to say Tommy Taylor and Martin Ling, because they're the ones that give me my chance to start make my debut and start my career. So, but yeah, I have big respect for them.
Okay, cool. Perfect. Del, yourself?
I'll probably start off by saying Kevin Wilson, because he's the one that gave me my first pro contract at Northampton. Even though I felt he held me back as well, because I got into the record books for the most sub appearance. But he didn't start me, but he gave me that opportunity, so I have to be always grateful for that. Second will probably be maybe Gary Peters.
Okay.
Gary Peters is the guy that had that beef with going to Nice. But the reason why I said that, because I had a really terrible time when I was playing for Lincoln and Chester, and he brought stability. Even though there was friction between us, but he would always play me. One time I must have been ill. He put me in a hotel alone and said, "I need you. You need to come and play." Even though he would absolutely hammer me in the papers, and I think I wouldn't play again. But he would always rely on me and started every game under him. So, and the last one probably be Keith Kill as well, because he signed me 3 different occasions, and I know even if I pick up the phone tomorrow and call him for Hartlepool, say, "Yo, I need."
You want that deal?
Yeah, I want that deal. What are you saying?
Yeah.
And she was like, "No, you're a bit old, but I'll see what I can do."
Yeah, it's a good guy.
He's
That sounds like a good
he's
guy.
a very good guy, and he always looks after
That's good.
after me.
Or hopefully they've watched that and seen that, they can now see the impact that you guys, they've had on your journeys and your careers. But no, guys, thanks a lot for coming on. I really appreciate it.
For sure.
Guys, hope you guys enjoyed that. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, share. And as well as that, Saturday, 27th of May, All-Star Weekender is coming back this year after the 3-year wait. Make sure you get your tickets when they come out very soon. More information will be out as soon as possible. Catch you guys soon.
Let me tell you something now, this is ball hour, and we can ball all hour.